Alright, so here we are dropping in on a five-skull battle against the Capellan Federation, which you guys know I always enjoy, and there seems to be a bit of an issue here off the bat. So, well, before we get ahead of ourselves, I'm only fielding right now 7 instead of our full complement of 8 mechs because of tonnage limitations, and we're fielding a very different squad. So we have Bomb Squad himself in the BLX KNT Red Reaper that was featured in our mech focus and rebuild episode, um, probably pretty recently or right after this. So if it hasn't been yet, take a look at this thing when it comes out. We also have, per normal, Announcer in his Atlas, Barn Owl in her Timberwolf, but we've moved Slapdash from the Axeman to a Gunslinger, which carries much the same complement of arms, but moves at the same speed, is a lot heavier, and has a lot better protection, along with some nice electronic warfare elements to it as well. We have McWraith in the Ebon Jaguar, that hasn't changed. And we have Mongrel in a Super Griffin, Griff 2NX, which can jump a full 8 tiles. Pretty necessary, given its starting position. I almost would have rather that we all start up here for that nice height advantage. And if we take a look in, right now I would say there's probably 2 lances that would register from the Capellans. The first is actually outside the map currently, which could get a little bit weird in terms of targeting priority and whether or not we can even shoot at them, much less move around for our normal sort of flanking that this lance is sort of designed to do. So let's see what they do first. I'm really hoping that they come inside the map. That Atlas, just a single tile still outside the map.
Heads up, Commander.
Oh,
You've got hostile
Darius
contact
says we
inbound.
have hostile contacts inbound. You know, I'm so glad for that, because otherwise I'm not sure I would have known. Uh, so because we are so close, and because our lance, at least with this rebuilt version of it, does like to stay mobile. Ooh, that's a nice sensor lock. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Wow, that was good. On their part, that was pretty good. Well, I don't know why he then fired at the Atlas that still has 8, but we have lost some evasion pips um, on a fair number of our mechs. Or have we? Maybe the initial ones can't be stripped, but I thought they could. But they've just basically stood there, so if we can't shoot at them, but they can shoot at us, it's going to be a bit of an issue. Okay, so we can shoot at them. That's good. We're not going to yet. I want these other mechs over here to move in, but they're not. Okay, very well. So let's take a look at what sort of shooting we can get going here. And okay, I'm not terribly concerned about that Highlander. I'm more concerned about the Night Star with a double AC-10 and a PPC. Ultra AC-10 there on the Stalker is pretty scary. So that would really be my de facto order of priority. Plus, if we take a look in at armor, the lightest armored of those is, I believe, the Stalker. Yeah, it is. Okay, so Stalker with the Ultra AC-10, I think, will be our first hopeful victim here. Let's come up, get 2 evasion pips. Not great, but the best we can do. Unfortunately, that is a less than perfect shot, but I do want to see if we can land the C3 Master on that Stalker, along with some nice rotary autocannon fire. Shooting in 8 shots, landing a fair number. Got some decent damage that we got in there. Looks like, yeah, about 200, 190. This is a 70 tonner. Oof. Large laser misses the Ebon Jaguar, but they were trying. And I don't love that. Let's get the Gunslinger moving up, and we could actually benefit from an active probe here. That is a nice shot with the Ultra Autocannon as well, so I'm a little conflicted. But I think we will... Yeah, let's move up to right here, and let's get the active probe. This will hurt their accuracy as much as it helps ours. Actually, will hurt theirs a little bit more because most of these guys don't really have evasion. Now they definitely shouldn't. So we've stripped them all to 0 evasion. Prime shooting. Oh, that's sniper artillery. Okay. A little confused why he didn't shoot, but, I mean, hey, I won't argue. And let's try out this Red Reaper of ours, and I can't actually hit any of these guys with that sword yet, so we'll just be moving up with the sprint and unloading with all of our ER mediums. Pretty decent complement, and what I'm thinking right now is that we just try to bore through the side torso on that stalker. So 2 smalls and, let's see, 6 ER mediums. Building a tiny bit of heat, but not much. Yeah, pretty effective volley, particularly if we can close and get that sword on target as well. I'd say that would be pretty effective. Victor's moving up, shooting the gunslinger, but misses with that large autocannon, which is good for us. Oh, what do we want to follow that with? You know what? Let's show off this guy's mobility. So this Super Griffin can move pretty far, as you can see. He can sprint pretty far, as you can see, and he can jump even further. So we're going to be using that jump to its greatest extent here. Do sacrifice a little bit of accuracy, and we do build a fair amount of heat, but I don't think all of these streaks will fire at this point. I think only 2 of them will. Besides, we can get away with the second alpha strike with this before we go over our heat, even at max jump, which is a nice thing to learn. It's probably only possible because of the polar biome, which does increase our heat sinking by 20%. But let's just go ahead and unload on that Victor. Ooh. Yeah. We are pretty good at taking advantage of mechs with XL engines. I assume that stuff like that, if they carry a decent armament, has an XL. Usually an Inner Sphere XL, unless you're going specifically against clan forces or, say, Comstar, some of their mechs do have better equipment. But, yeah, that's why I shoot for side torsos so often. Okay. In addition to the flanking bonus that you get from things like that. So, let's just go for the Art 4 ammunition. This should hopefully be a kill here as well. Oh yeah. No? Okay, I'm impressed. I thought that would be a kill. Maybe this knock will get him. We did land the improved heavy Gauss. Just it doesn't look like we landed that to the center torso. Probably landed to the side or a leg. Looks like it might have been the leg. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We could have gotten him completely killed there, and we didn't. So let's take a side turn here. And I'm a little bit conflicted. We could shoot at the stalker, but I think I'd rather let something lighter do that. And let's get some work going on. So that awesome, if he walks in, will be a nice punching ground for our Black Knight. But we're getting a little bit outside of the range of the SRM-6s as well as the HE ATMs on the Night Star, not to mention the Helipolis. So let's just go ahead and shoot in at the awesome. From here, accuracy justifies it, particularly on those HE rounds. A fair number of misses on the lasers, but structure exposed on that awesome is definitely worth it. And we still have the Ebon Jaguar. Yeah, let's get a bit more evasion than that. I don't want to expose rear arc though. So we can run up here. Very good. And I don't think that this Capellan Lance knew quite what they were in for. This would be definitely overkill, but let's just go ahead and do it. Yeah, okay, pretty good. So, of the 8 mechs that we started off facing, there are 6 left that we know of, unless other reinforcements show up, which it might be possible. We took this for 2 million C-bills. There's that artillery shot. That does not make me happy. We took this for 2 million C-bills, which is a pretty high payout, so I wouldn't be terribly surprised if there were reinforcements, but I don't think we'll see it. So let's take the Jaeger mech. We'll keep moving him a little bit away and into cover, because this is a very fragile backline mech. Usually we did have to give up a little bit of his armor, I believe, to fit the double rotary AC-5. More than a worthy trade-off, in my opinion. I think it quite justifies itself in how it's been performing. And yeah, we can get away with quite a bit in terms of heat here. I'm just worried about the jam, but let's go ahead and give that a shot. Yeah, very nice damage there. The awesome has walked in. I don't know why he stopped there, but okay, I won't argue with you. We're going to wait for the Red Reaper to move in until they've moved a couple more of theirs. So what else can we shoot with here? Let's go back a little ways. And we will probably pop the Battle Lord on Barn Owl. Yep, let's do that. And see what we can get done on the Night Star. I think we'll pull off one of the SRM-6s just because of the 74.6 accuracy. Although the damage potential there, even with that accuracy, is much higher than the ER medium, so actually let's do this instead. Granted, it'll be a bit more scattered even when it does land in, but that's fine with me for that initial strike. It's okay. The Ebon Jaguar, we can also, well, those are obstructed shots. I don't love that. You know what? Well, let's wait. Let's wait just a little bit. I think we're in a good position to do that. Not sure. Okay, so there's that 70 tenor. Not sure what that is. Hopefully it's another Black Knight. I'd love to get a standard one, much as I do like the sword and shield. We were, after all, named after the BL7 KNT, which is not the sort of specialized melee configuration. You know what? Let's go ahead and get a move on down here. So we're going to jump all the way down into that water. This will cool us off a little bit. And we'll take a precision strike into the Helipolis. My apologies there for the bit of jumping around. My computer does struggle a little bit to run this game. I do want that guy down. Yeah, I'd say that's very nice damage for a frontal shot from this mech. It's not really meant to do that. It's meant to, you know, jump behind somebody and unload, or dig through a side like we saw happen earlier on. Well, yeah, okay. Oop. Wrong button there, I apologize. Okay, Night Star moving up. Couple shots, but nothing major. Still outside of the bounds, and I really don't like that. What I would give to be able to flank that Night Star and the Highlander would be very, very effective if we could pull that off. Unfortunately, we can't, so yeah. It is what it is. Slapdash moving up will give us a defensive formation. And this is some very nice accuracy. Oof. Ah. I thought for a second there that that we might have gotten him right in the dome piece, but it looks like not. He does miss most of his shots, other than a couple of the missiles on the Atlas of ours, our Announcer. And Announcer has been in that Atlas for so long, I do want to give him something better, but I mean, I'm not sure even Kerensky could think of anything better than an Atlas. I don't recall seeing this mech before. It's called a Sunder. Triple SRM4, double large, double medium, AC-20. Pretty good configuration. My worry, well, he has 90 tons. He could get he could get away with that decently well. Let's go ahead and let him move. I want the Atlas to shoot next. See if we can take out that Highlander, which I hopefully we'll be able to do. Yeah, so I was a little bit worried about exposing that gunslinger's rear arc to this lance behind us here, which very quickly will be the only thing left on the field for our opponents. So ordinarily this is the sort of thing we want to do where we get around behind and strike with that physical weapon, but I don't think we're going to be able to pull it off. We do have side slip on Bomb Squad now, which gives us an additional I gave it the wrong ability. Well, I'll have to fix that between. I meant to give him the ability that gave us two additional evasion pips on command, but let's go ahead and see what this melee weapon can do for us. So, oof, very nice. One hit, and I didn't see the second hit come in. Interesting. There should be a second hit off of that sword. Could just be that it didn't show us. Very nice stability damage, and ooh, he punched out. Okay. Yeah, not terrible. I suppose not spectacular either, but I mean, he's not supposed to exactly be our damage dealer. He's more of a I mean, we're building into a more aggressive style, is I guess what I would say. And he's supposed to help us with that more aggressive style. So let's see if we can kill the Highlander with the Atlas here. I'm hopeful. We do land the improved heavy gallants that digs through that right torso, and not quite enough. Good damage, don't get me wrong, but not quite enough. And that mech does topple. Yeah, okay. Making good progress. I would say if we can get the Ebon Jaguar into a decent position, which this is barely, one more tile away and our SRM6 accuracy would suffer pretty tremendously. And this should be enough to finish that Highlander off. No? I'm very impressed. Oh, he'll have Highlander Rugged, won't he? So, just like Griffins, things like that, they start with more than their nominal internal structure in the CT. It does make them a bit harder to finish off. And I think the answer now is a precision strike to this Night Star. Try and dig through that right torso that we've already damaged. Which we do, and that mech is down. Very nice. So we should start moving. We should start moving a couple of things over toward the other lance now. We do have the Super Griffin, and I'm very happy with him pulling some of that damage. I wasn't as thrilled about landing that large laser. A bit surprised. We do have 7 evasion pips, and that'll be pretty much normal for the Super Griffin. If we can do, 8 full tiles of a jump. Just stand still in with the Ebon Jaguar. Now, if this doesn't kill, I was going to say, if this doesn't kill me and that Ebon Jaguar, are going to have a bit of a chat. That is one of those lances down completely. The other one is missing one of his members, so we are now 7 against 3, which I personally like those odds quite a bit. Yeah, so this is why I put the ER mediums on here, so that we get good accuracy even while the Red Reaper is trying to close. And let's see what we can do. Not bad damage. Not bad damage at all. And let's see. We could move up now with the Super Griffin, but that is a little bit risky to do while your opponent still hasn't moved so much. The Helipolis, of course, has, but do have the Avatar and the Sunder. Avatars are solid mechs, not to be underestimated by any margin. I think that's, what, AC-10 on there, large laser, a couple mediums. Pretty good armament, at least for, the AI using an Inner Sphere stock build. Oh, AC-20. Yeah, okay. That guy, if he got into our rear arc, would have really punished that Super Griffin. Let's see what we can do on this side. And what sort of damage can I get done? So we'll switch back to the standards. They should have range. They do. Our better shot is here, so let's take it. Precision strike. And get those ER mediums up. Go for that side torso. I want to rip that big gun off of him if I can, which we do, and that kills another mech. This is the thing that I'm talking about with the prevalence of XL engines in mechs that I believe probably should value their own longevity a bit more highly than they seem to. So the Sunder's moving up. Not very far. Another shot in at the Super Griffin. So this is important information for us for other engagements as well. Knowing that that Super Griffin will draw fire is important because, if he's drawing fire with 7 evasion pips because of his positioning, and that positioning is something we can accomplish with these very excellent jump jets that we will want to do repeatedly, right? Like we will want to be making those jumps pretty repeatedly. That's an indication to us that we really do need high evasion on this guy. So I'm moving farther out than I otherwise could, and I'll tell you why. I'm shooting him at the Avatar. We do have a bit reduced accuracy than what I could get on this turn, but what I want is I want the jump to behind his back to be decently far. That way I'm still able... well, I was going to say that way I'm still able to get good evasion when I'm coring that mech out, but it appears that won't be necessary. So, Slapdash moving up in the Gunslinger. And this is what I'm talking about with this Lance's mobility. It's actually pretty decent, all things considered, for, you know, the tonnage that we're wielding, etc. And I like that because it will allow us to respond to a variety of different threats, a variety of different lances, bringing our guns online relatively effectively. There are exceptions to this, notably this Atlas right here is still very slow, and I see no real way to get around that while keeping the improved heavy Gauss, so it's a drawback that we will need to be aware of, very aware of. See if we can land this shot, and we do on that leg. Not a lot of missile follow-up to the leg, at least not enough to rip it open, but both of those legs are pretty hurt. Actually, let's see what this Red Reaper can do. So on the move is not fantastic. We're in the water, it's slowing us down a little bit. Yeah, so let's get out of the water, come up here into these woods. This is the moment in time where jump jets would actually be relatively helpful. We can land the ER small. Wow. Better range than I thought it would have. If that's the... Oh, if that's the other color, it might have even shot in the last turn, I'm not entirely sure about that. I'll have to take a look at the range bracket there. And let's see what this Super Griffin... Yeah, that's a pretty far jump. Let's go up here. And precision strike. Let's see what we can do. I'm hopeful this will get a leg on that side. Doesn't look like it. Looks like it went mostly into the arm and side torso. That's why we got those engine crits there, is this guy also has an XL, which means, at least in my opinion, he will not be long for this world. Yeah, because as soon as we can kill that whole mech is gone. And those ATMs are, as usual, very good at doing that sort of task. That'll be the mission. By the next mission, I record a live point, or we'll have increased our drop tonnage just a little bit to be able to include our 8th mech once again, which will, I think, beat the Titan. So, be good to have that mech coming back for that, 6 times ER large laser loadout. And thank you guys for hanging around. We'll see you again real soon.